Good morning. Welcome back to our little shop in North Georgia. Well, if you've been following the restoration of the Kent Coffee Perspecta triple dresser, you know that yesterday we did a lot of veneer work and we have a lot of stuff clamped up. So first thing we're going to do this morning is take everything out of clamps, take a look at it, see how we did. Okay, here's a little chip that we repaired yesterday. That came out really good. At this point, what you're looking for is good adhesion of the veneer to the substrate and tight joints. This darkness here and this stuff here is glue. That's going to clean right off and that'll come out as we light sand. Let's go over here to this monstrous problem we had yesterday. And again, we've got the veneer nice and flat. It's down tight and all the way up to here. So we'll take a little bit of water and a scrubby pad, maybe a scraper, and we'll get some of this glue off, get off the last of this blue tape, and light sand this, and I'm real happy with the results. This is gonna look good. Okay, let's do the drawer next and see how we did there. It's looking good. I'll bring in. And you can see that's down nice and tight. There's the seam where we had to extend the length. That's nice and tight. And she's just going to need some cleanup and some sanding, and she's going to be ready to refinish. I wanted to bring you back for just a minute to show you a good way of trimming veneer. If you have a chisel that is sharp, and it has to be sharp, you can lay it right on the drawer edge, and I'm putting a little bit of forward pressure with my backhand. And with the thumb of this hand, I'm just taking the chisel side to side. And as I do that, make sure it stays flush to here. And what you're going to wind up with is a nice straight cut of the overhanging veneer, absolutely flush to the drawer face. And with it, you see any of the extra glue squeezed out is coming right up with it too. And there you go. I wanted to show you the repaired drawer. It's been sanded down now, and you can see that, other than the tone color, because this is unfinished and this had been finished and it's now been sanded, that this is almost perfect. The drawer face looks wonderful, and it's nice and solid, and I'm quite pleased with how this came out. and the bottom of the knife, so I'll have glue on the top and the bottom of the piece of veneer. Okay, I think we got that. Okay, I believe it's down. Piece of wax paper. Clamp. And that should take care of it. So that's just another type of veneer repair to keep in your bag of tricks. Well, after 2 coats of oxalic and the little bit of sanding I dare do on this very thin veneered top, these 2 water stains would not come out. So what I did using 3 different pigment colors is just rub the pigment colors, starting with yellow, working myself up into the browns to extend. The water spots are here and here, and I extend them out along the grain lines to make them look like they're dark heartwood. And I think that once we have this top coated and color shaded, this is going to blend in fine. Right now it sticks out like a sore thumb because the walnut is so light, because it's just been sanded, and obviously this just had fresh color applied to it. But that's my intention. You can see it sort of flows back here from this triangle pattern and tapers off right into this heartwood here, this dark heartwood. So I'm thinking that it's going to work. It's a technique that I haven't really used before, but I don't have any other choice. And of course, obviously, if it's awful, we can either take it off or we can try to do it with some shading. But we're getting ready to seal coat the top here. Take a look at these drawers. We've worked on all the drawers in the meantime. All the chips have been taken care of. Some of them I just touched up with a little bit of putty, like this one here. That'll be cleaned up and shot with lacquer to seal that in. Some of them I did veneer inlays. Any of the decent sized ones or ones that were unstable, I did veneer inlays on them. And so we've got all the drawers done. We've got the door, excuse me as I'm walking around here, I know it's probably making you sick to your stomach. We've got the doors done. I've got them cleaned up. Any places that needed to be touched up were touched up. This is a dent. I was able to color that. This is that piece of veneer inlay that I did on the rosewood. That's drying. This is all cleaned up. No more sparkly stuff on it. So we're making progress. You know, we've got just this, the great unknown, and that's how that dresser top is going to come out. Well, right now I'm feeling pretty smart because my pigment technique to conceal those water stains worked perfectly. It's a technique I have never used before. I was very careful to pick out all the colors that were in the top. There's some golden oak, a lot of raw umber, which is the green end of brown, some burnt umber. They were mixed together, they were layered, they were streaked, and they provided the exact effect that I hope, and it looks just like dark heartwood in the walnut, and it actually mimics the dark stripe that's to its right. That water stain is gone, and we didn't get rid of it with oxalic. We got rid of it by camouflaging it to look like something it wasn't. Look at that. Isn't that great? I am really, really pleased. I should go get a lottery ticket, eh? Okay, well that's the technique. If I ever do it again next time, I'll video it for you. And remember, wood is never a solid color. So you want to model your colors as you put them on so it looks more natural. But you can see how already this is blending in much better. I've got a little bit too much lacquer here, and I'm going to wind up having to sand that down a little bit, I think. And we'll put a second seal coat on this in just a few minutes. Gotta lock this in. Alright, so now you're looking at that repair is much better blended in. And what we'll do is we'll shoot a second coat of seal coat on it. We can adjust it as we need be, and then when we shoot the color on it, it'll blend in even more. But that's it. That's how you use these pigment colors. I tell you what, they will save your butt more times than not. And just in case I didn't show you, there's the water stain. Okay, we'll bring you back later. Okay, our next job is to shoot some color on the lower portion of this repaired drawer. I've mixed up a little bit of lacquer, a lot of lacquer thinner, and some medium walnut dye. I'm going to shoot it on as a toner. Hopefully we'll get a fairly decent color match. Compressor's going to kick on, but I'll mute it in the video. Best laid plans of mice and men. I'm going to have to use some pigment on that to pull that color in. It's just too far off to make it match with a little bit of toner. They're two different pieces of wood and they're nowhere near the right color, so I'm going to have to get a little bit more aggressive. So I'll bring you back when I've got this ready to go. Let's lock it in with some sanding sealer. Okay, we've done some color work, 2 coats of sanding sealer, and a coat of lacquer. Not too bad. We did a little bit of camouflage back here to this big repair that we had to do. You can see we had to color that in a little bit to help it blend. And again, we used a natural shape, kind of spun it into a faux knot over here. But that'll blend in a whole lot better than it was before. As you remember, we had gone right through the veneer back there. Inlaid a piece as best we could, but we still had places where the veneer wasn't hiding. So I mean, if you didn't know that, you would think that's just a dark spot in the wood, which is exactly what it's supposed to look like. So there we go.